Hey everyone, how you doing? Okay, so I want to start this video off with a question. A question to you, the audience. Is there something in Plants vs. Zombies that you could talk about for a long time without even having to look anything up? Because there is for me. You know, the nerd who has made over 200 videos on the franchise already. Of course I'm gonna have something to talk about. But it's nothing I've talked about before, at least not much. I did briefly touch on it in one singular video I made about a year or two ago, but that's it. No, what the topic is for today's video is Vasebreaker in PVZ2. I've, again, briefly touched on just how boring I find this mode to be, but today we're really going to talk about it because, I mean, come on. So, this game mode, for those who don't know, is very simple. You see these vases? Break them. Some have zombies, some have plants, some have... No, that's kind of it actually, it's basically just those two things. And you have to essentially break them in a strategic order. Quotation marks around that, by the way, because the strategy is just being slow. That's it. And sometimes you get fucked over anyways, so why even bother? Now, all of this is to say that there are definitely some highlights of this mode, I'm not going to deny that. There's definitely parts of Vasebreaker that I enjoy, but I think the gimmick kind of did everything it could in PVZ1, so why is it back for PVZ2? And so early on, too. You have to remember that this was added like 2015, maybe earlier. Yeah, this was added very early on in the PVZ2's lifespan, and it has not changed one fucking bit. Definitely for the worse, by the way, because there were other modes from PVZ1 brought into PVZ2, like Begooled, that's actually pretty damn good. I like Begooled, even if it's just in modern day. Hey, that's cool, but... The mode itself is very boring to talk about because there's really only 4 worlds. There's the tutorial, there's Ancient Egypt, there's Pirate Seas, and finally Wild West. Notice a pattern? Yeah, that's the first 3 worlds of PVZ2, and I guess the player's house. It's very basic, the gimmicks are hardly any different, they're not interesting to talk about because you're pushing Vasebreaker as is, putting it in this game. There's not really a whole lot else to do with it, so yeah. And then PopCap has the audacity to cut a shitload of content from this mode too. Like, we are talking Dark Ages, Far Future, and Big Wave Beach were all planned to get Vasebreaker levels, and it just never happened. Kind of. See, apparently these 3 worlds were brought back for an event in like, I don't know, 2018, 2019. That's cool, you know, I'm glad. Why was it limited to pinata parties? Just fucking put it in the menu, it's not that hard. People would appreciate it. I mean, I wouldn't, but somebody would. It bothers me how PopCap has treated this game mode because this was one of the big game modes of PVZ1. Let's not forget that. Is it boring? Yeah, to me it is. But is it interesting as a game mode concept? Yeah, so why are they giving it such shit treatment in PVZ2? It got a fucking button on the home menu! I'm sorry, but that's not okay when you only give it a few levels. Why? There's power-ups for the mode too! I didn't even mention that because they're so irrelevant! But okay, what about what could have been? See, there's a very interesting discovery I got told about recently that I just... Oh, it makes me mad. Invisible and Call 'em Like You See 'em were at one point considered to be game modes in this game, much like Begooled and Vasebreaker. One of those could have replaced Vasebreaker, and I think everybody would have been happier as a result of that. It just needed time, and PopCap did not give it time, or energy, or anything. Why is Vasebreaker so barren? Okay, that's basically the video. I really wanted to talk about Vasebreaker. It's been on my mind for a long time, and getting that recent information has completely changed my point of view on it. In my last video, I called it pretty forgettable, but now it's downright something I do not play on purpose. As if I was ever playing Vasebreaker to begin with, but I digress. Thank you to all of my channel members, those being Song, Danby, Nicholas Vankowski, and Mopfa. It's not in alphabetical order, but it's because I'm reading off the top of my head. Sorry about that. Also, if you're new around here and you like what you see, then maybe consider subscribing too. As of the time I'm recording this, we are almost at 33,000 subscribers. That's actually a lot. Thank you to everybody who does subscribe. And I'm gonna go not think about Vasebreaker, so peace.